All right, it's time for our weekly fitness segment. It's called Fitness Friday, and today I have with me Luke Coutinho, who is a renowned holistic lifestyle coach. Thank you so much, Luke, for taking the time. Adequate exercise is one of the four pillars that you base your practice on, that you base your approach to holistic wellness on. So I want to start by asking you, not about the effects of not exercising, because I think that's something that quite a few of us are familiar with. I want to ask what your experience has been when you see people start making that move. What are the kind of changes that positivity brings about?
So great, thanks for having me again. When people start movement, I won't even use the word exercise. They start moving a little more. They start increasing their step count. They start to feel better about themselves. And it's based on the simple physiology and biology of the body. We produce endorphins. Endorphins are feel-good hormones. What also happens is their bodies start to get a little bit more flexible because there's now more movement. They feel more energetic. So there are a lot of benefits. They feel more energetic. Some of them, their appetites also start to change. They start eating at fixed times automatically because now the body requires energy from the food that you eat. They sleep better at night. Because, when you really physically tire out the body, even if it's with a little bit of movement, your body requires more rest to recover from that little movement that you took. So people even sleep deeper. A lot of people report getting more productive at work, which is why corporates around the world encourage movement at workplaces today, especially if you have a sitting job and it's sedentary. Because the more you move, the more blood circulation, the more blood reaches the brain, the more focus, the more concentration, and the more productive you are. So these are some beautiful benefits of even starting with small little wins every day, small baby steps of movement every day.
So that's exactly what I want to focus on, Luke, because I think a lot of people out there want to make that start. There's one problem I think that a lot of people face when they start up, because there's that enthusiasm that comes about once in a way. A lot of times at the start of the year when you make that New Year resolution to move more, you kind of hit a roadblock very early on. Sometimes you bite off more than you can chew. So is there any advice that you can give people who are starting off after a long break?
I think the number one is don't live your life with motivation. Motivation has a shelf life. Okay, inspire yourself to move more. New Year resolutions never work. Okay, you need to start today. Your heart's working for you right now. Your kidney, your liver. It's not going to wait till the 1st of January when you decide to start, making a change. So I think when we assign value to human health and the body, we don't really have to be motivated to do it. We realize, like, I go to work to earn money so I can use my money to have a lifestyle. It's the same thing. Okay, I do exercise so I keep my body healthy, which in turn allows me to live a good life. So we assign value to our health. When we assign value to our health, now what's the small little things that we need to do? Let's start off with 15 minutes of movement in a day. Make small moves. When people make large goals and they take this fancy gym membership, they get a trainer and they start doing it and then they lose all the motivation to do it. No, you can reach that point, but start with small little baby steps. So when you do 1 week of that 15 minutes, guess what? You feel good about yourself. You feel automatically inspired now to make it 20 minutes. And then 30 minutes, and then 40 minutes. So small wins every single day. You do not have to get confused by social media and see all these great bodies doing fancy exercises or fancy yoga asanas. It could be as simple as you starting to walk 5 minutes after your breakfast, 5 minutes after your lunch, 5 minutes after your dinner. Plan a call. So I plan to speak to my mom after lunch every day. I speak to a client after breakfast, and I speak to a team member after dinner. So I know that 5 minutes I'm talking to someone and I'm walking. Now that 5 minutes becomes 10, sometimes 15, sometimes 30 minutes if my mom wants to go on complaining about something. So you see, you walk a lot automatically and you do work. So you're getting movement and you're being productive at the same time.
Yeah, well, I can see that. I can see that as a great piece of advice that a lot of people can follow, right? But having said that, a lot of people are stuck at home still, Luke, while things are opening up and things are going back to normal. And I certainly hope that things go back to normal very quickly. But still, even people going to office find that they're stuck at their desk very often. But I want to ask you, is there a set of exercises? I know you said that you can start with a walk, but then is there a set of exercises that you can target various parts of your body with?
Absolutely. And you can do this at work as well. Of course, it depends on what you're wearing. So there are exercises that you could do in your chair. I have people today who carry a small resistance band. You can buy it on Amazon. It's just a resistance band. And they sit at their chair and they're doing pulls, or they put it under their foot and they're doing curls, while sitting. But it's recommended that if you have a sedentary job, to get up every 45 minutes to an hour. At least stand up. If you can't leave your workplace, touch your toes. Even if you do 2 to 3 squats, you don't need place for that. That's brilliant for you. So there are all these little exercises that you can do without even moving away from your workplace. The idea is to create movement. Of course, that's not your exercise that you're expected to do, but that little movement makes your sedentary lifestyle less dangerous for you. Sometimes time your break. In an hour, go to the water cooler, get yourself water, go to the cafeteria, brew yourself a cup of tea, come back to your desk. Even that movement, or even just standing up and having a huge stretch, gets the blood circulation going. Now, if I had to give you a couple of exercises that work out all your body parts together in the minimum amount of time, one would be squats, one would be push-ups. You don't need a gym or equipment for this. Burpees. Okay, it'll probably get you sweating, but you do 3 to 4, you'll find your heart rate comes up beautifully and it keeps you going for the next couple of hours as well. A lot of people say, I don't have time for a workout. There's a beautiful Japanese system of working out. It's called Tabata, T-A-B-A-T-A. It's 4 minutes. But you do a set of body weight exercises. You don't need a gym. You can do it at your workplace. You can do it in a hotel, wherever. You work out for 4 minutes. You select any exercises that you like. Let's say you're taking jumping jacks. You're taking imaginary skipping, squats, lunges, push-ups, Russian twist, example. And for 20 seconds, you work out, 10 seconds, you take a break. 20 seconds, you work out, 10 seconds. Within 4 minutes, you've actually boosted your metabolism to a very high level. Your heart rate goes up in a safe way. It's beautiful. Of course, if you're a heart patient, always take professional advice before trying any new exercises. But imagine 4 minutes. You could get a lot of exercise into those 4 minutes if you're a busy person. But coming back to the chair, every 45 minutes to an hour, we must all get up. And even if it's just standing, stretching, touching our toes, it's good enough. But do not be sitting continuously hour after hour.
Okay. Now, you mentioned the Tabata, and I'm quite interested in that as well, because you have these exercises that I think people get into. Sometimes, these things particularly, in what I've read about Tabata, Luke, correct me if I'm wrong, it's not necessarily something that you can do every day. It's something that you pace out maybe once every couple of days or 3 days, because it could take a lot out of you. Do you space out your workouts? Do you have variety that you add?
Yes, you can. And it depends on the level of intensity. So how do you know if you're doing it at an intense level? If you can do the 5th minute, that means you didn't work hard enough. If you're completely pooped out after the 4th minute, it was enough. If you're doing intensive Tabata, you need a day of recovery between both sessions. You can't do it every day. But a lot of people start very gently. They do very simple exercises in the 20-10. And that's fine. You can do that every day until you start getting more and more intensive. And the beauty of Tabata is you can select any exercises to fit into that 4 minute. So today I may do a combination of lunges, squats, and jumping jacks. Tomorrow I may do Russian twists, maybe incline push-ups, and something else. So you never get bored of it. You can do interval swimming as well. So people swim 1 lap really fast in 20 seconds, and then they come back slowly in 10 seconds. You can do spot jogging. So you jog rapidly for 20 seconds, and then you take a break for 10 seconds. So you can use any body movement that is good for you. Now, another thing, let's say you cannot do Tabata because you find it intensive. Even holding a couple of yoga asanas in between your day, you just move your chair aside, you hold a warrior position. Or you do 3 Surya Namaskars, which will not take you more than 3 to 4 minutes. Even that is great exercise for your body, especially when you're in a sedentary position.
Okay. Now, I do want to also ask, so interval training, and I've wanted to ask you about this for some time now. If you're talking about somebody who is moving, okay, so somebody who's maybe walking on a regular basis or even running on a regular basis, would you say that it's important to bring interval training into the picture just so that you have that a bit of a shock that your body gets to become stronger?
All athletes use interval training for endurance and for better strength. So yes, absolutely yes. It's a great way. It's a mix of aerobic and anaerobic. Of course, if you're a thyroid patient or your doctor, you've especially recovered from COVID and you've had heart complications, it is definitely not the way for you to go. For at least 3 to 4 months, you want to be very, very gentle with your exercise. If you're a thyroid patient, you never want to do intensive training. You want to do light runs, light jogs, light exercise, light weightlifting. But yes, athletes actually use Tabata as their warm-up, because it is so fantastic for the metabolism. But now we're not athletes, we're day-to-day people with day-to-day jobs. So you can do it once in 3 days. You can do it once in a week as well. It's completely up to you. If it works for you, do it. Some bodies don't like that aggression, and you don't have to do it. Everyone's unique and everyone's different.
And that's exactly what I'm going to take from this conversation. Thank you so much, Luke, for joining in and for giving us those tips. I'm certainly going to put some of them to good use today and, of course, over the weekend.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Bye-bye.